So from the very beginning, the Foothills Food Hub, as a project of the McDowell Local Food Advisory Council, was all about a brick and mortar solution to a lot of the issues that the council had been addressing and looking at over the last really 4 or 5 years. We started out saying, how do we, one, support farmers? How do we get more local food into our food system? And how do we grow that food system in a way that is sustainable and is local? So the economic development, the economic impact happens for our community as we grow this as well. Nebo Crossing gave us a small space that we were able to provide that work and do about maybe 50 household boxes of every other week. So about 100 a month for folks in our Head Start program, in New Hope, our domestic violence center, those kinds of places that needed some extra support or had families that needed support. Gateway Wellness Foundation reached out and asked us if we would provide food for the county, and we of course agreed. We had some early money, grant money from them to be able to purchase food from our awesome partner, Manna Food Bank. We also got some other grants to start purchasing local farmer food to make sure that we could bring both to folks that were in need during the pandemic. Beginning in late April of 2020, we were putting out close to 1,000 boxes a week.
Once COVID hit, we knew what our role was. It was to provide emergency food support. Overnight, my role shifted from project manager of working groups to volunteer coordinator and manager. And during COVID, our partnerships definitely expanded. We were able to really tangibly do some of the things in our mission and our vision that we'd always talked about, like feeding people wasn't political all of a sudden, and there was an influx of funds that we could use to purchase food and get out to some of these lesser served areas like Jacktown and to North Cove and Nebo that we've always dreamed and talked about as a food council, as a food hub, and as a county. We really shot up our numbers and had to respond pretty quickly. Luckily, the community also responded, both with donations and with volunteer support. A lot of our churches jumped in and did food drives. It was really a full county effort support.
I used to be one of the ones that stood in the line for the food box. I'm from Burke County, so you didn't get to drive up and get a box. You had to go in and you had to show your ID and you had to show your form of rent and all that. We do not ask that here. No questions asked here. We're not the food police. I have found that food forms trust. And so, I've formed a lot of trust and communication with some so that I've been able to reach out and give them extra resources, whether it's calling Amy for Match or the Impact Program, which is peer support here. So some people who are trying to get in recovery, and with this pandemic, a lot of people are struggling. So just be a ray of sunshine and be like, it's okay not to be okay.
So we have just recently, really in the last 3 months, moved into this space and begun working out of it, both for our food distributions and supporting pantries, as well as for our farmers. We're in the middle of our second big CSA, Community Supported Agricultural Program, for our local farmers. Very lucky that we got a great partner in Nebo Crossing. They offered us about 9,000 square feet in their building. We're hoping to really get more invested and more involved in buying more and more farmer food. So really strengthen our food system. Always the Food Hub was about space for our pantries to have support, be able to store it for them until they're ready to do their food pantry. And then certainly a space for our farmers where they would have a wash line, they would have the ability to store their food as well, and that we would help bring that farmer food into the pantry network. And if we can be sustainable here as a county and as a region, then we can do a lot better in the future in terms of supporting each other and taking care of each other as a community so that they can do what they need to grow and be the best people they can be.